Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition, exciting edition of Dragon Sports Live. I'm Dante Payne, your host for this evening. Let's rock with it. We got a lot of things we're gonna get down and cracking with. We got national champs, University of Virginia. Big ups to them. We also got national champs, Baylor, in the building. We're gonna talk about that, break it down, and also Magic Johnson has stepped down as president of basketball operations. So it is an exciting show for you tonight, as well as the playoff push. A lot of great games happened last night. But before I get to that, I always got to support my local artists, unsigned independent artists that's not supported to a major level. And I have some new songs that were sent to me. This song is called Chill With Me, and it's Everest featuring Genesis. And it's a good song for you. Like, I listened to it, I checked it out, so I'm gonna let you guys check it out. With that being said, chill with me on Dragon Sports Live. Check it out.
I got a plan just for you and I. Nothing too big, just to spend some time. Don't gotta get dressed up, hop in some slides and pack a bag. Shit, you spend the night. I got the cocoa water and the movies on. We'll watch whatever you want, really. I just want you to come chill with me. It's snowing and I'm alone, and I'm yearning for your company. So baby, just come on. I just want you to come chill with me.
I got lots of fluffy blankets. I promise you'll be warm. And the snow is getting deeper, babe. Just wrap me up in your arms. Give me plans so we can do whatever you want, babe. I've been craving all your energy. I've been yearning for your company, so baby, just come on. I just want you to come chill with me.
I'll meet you right by the mistletoe. Got indica, we can hit the road. Ordered your favorite minutes ago. Till let it rise, we'll make dinner slow. I got the cocoa water and the movies on. We'll watch whatever you want, really. I just want you to come chill with me. It's snowing and I'm alone, and I'm yearning for your company. So baby, just come on. I just want you to come chill with me. 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 Come chill with me.
We'll be right by your side, and I call you God again. And the snow is like the fire, you have to spend the night. And we'll cuddle in the car, yes, everything will be alright.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was Chill With Me. And there's going to be a lot of chilling going on because University of Virginia, they chilling out there a hard-fought game in overtime against Texas Tech, clinching their first national title. Now, they have had 22 experiences in 2 Final Fours, but not a title until now. So they clinched the title, and the storyline with both these teams, Texas Tech and Virginia Tech, is simple. Both these teams was fighting for their first title. Who was hungry? Who was that? The fact that this game went to overtime let you know that it was a great game. And I actually sat here and watched this game. So I was looking at them going tick for tack. I thought Virginia was going to have them crushed. But then come the second half, you had Texas Tech coming back, going on a nice little run, tying the game up, sending it to overtime, and then they just didn't have enough gas to do it. But it was a great game. Because this is how you see, like, your future. Who's coming to the NBA, who's, that NBA future. The next person that's going to be that superstar. You can see that. You can see flares of that. Some people need 1 or 2 years of college to develop more. Some people need the G League, almost said the D League, what it used to be called. But in all actuality, this is how you see who's going to be that next superstar. Some players perform well in college and then do subpar in the NBA. But that just depends on the person and how much work they decide to put in. So with that being said, it's like it's an ongoing battle. And Matt Mooney for Texas Tech, he was trying to put the team on his back. So, and he, like, how could I put it? One game he had 29 points, and the rest of the team didn't even have double-digit points. They only had, like, second highest was 6. Second highest was 9. My bad. And it's like, you see that NBA flair in him. Virginia Tech had lost their best player the game before, so he wasn't even on the floor. And they played hard. They worked hard. So it's like, gotta give them big ups for that game. Great game, great game. And also in NCAA on the women's side, women do not get much love as far as NCAA and WNBA. Like, they can ball too. Matter of fact, some of them can ball better than some of these guys. So it's like, you gotta give props what props do. And that game was also good as well. That game came down to the wire at the last 4 seconds. Baylor taking that game, and that was 82-81 against Notre Dame. Now, Notre Dame is technically in Indiana, but it's represented by Chicago. Don't know why. I guess that's the closest D1 team to us that's closer than U of I. So, I guess that's why we represent. But, yeah, Notre Dame is actually in South Bend, but is represented by Chicago as well. So, it's like Notre Dame is representing both Indiana and Chicago. Which, that's a little side tip, but we did have Jackie Young, who declared for the WNBA draft, and Notre Dame was trying to get that two-peat, but Baylor had won their first championship title since 2012. Now, in 2012, y'all may remember a special somebody by the name of Brittany Griner, who dunked in that game, because I remember watching that game. So, they pulled the upset, when I say it came down to the wire in that game, literally, like, with 0.1 second left, they get the ball, drive right to the rack, get the basket, couldn't get the stop, so that's how they won that game. But, it happens. So we got different players. As I mentioned before, Jackie Young declares for the WNBA draft, but we also have Jared Harper of Auburn and RJ Barrett declaring for the NBA as well. So it's good to see. Now he's, my opinion, he's definitely NBA ready. He's a 6'9" guard with a 7 foot wingspan. We also had Bow Bow from Oregon. He declared for the draft. Ooh, excuse me. Charlie Brown from St. Joseph. And Quentin Games. And Kobe White from North Carolina declare. Chris Wilkes from UCLA. And Trey Jones is returning back to Duke. So that's a good thing. Haven't heard anything yet about Zion Williamson. But far as who declared early, his teammate. Just his teammate, Jalen Hands, Talon Horton Tucker from Iowa State, and VJ King of Louisville. Those who all declare early far as WNBA. NBA draft. Now, far as WNBA, so far I only know of Jackie Young, but I can give you more in just 1 second. Because it's about to go down. I don't know why that song is stuck in my head. But it is. Maybe I should play the instrumental. And I definitely can see Jackie Young going in the first round. But we also have Tierra McCowan going. Asia Durr going. Kristen Angelagwe going. Nafisha Collier from UConn. I can see her going, and Uruguay Oguwe from Notre Dame going. So, and then also Katie Lou from UConn. Those are just to name a few players that already potentially draft picks don't know where they're going. Depending on where they're going, we don't know. But it's going down. Like I said, well fought season for both University of Virginia as well as Notre Dame, Texas Tech, Baylor. They all fought hard to get through in these well-fought March Madness. Speaking of March Madness, I got a madness of music in my head and that people are sending to me. So, if you are a local artist, send your music to dragonjumppro@gmail.com. If you got a clean version, give me a clean version. If you got an explicit verse, it can't be like profanity in every single word, every single sentence. Because, like I said, I will put you on my show, but I need the clean version of the songs. So send an MP3 to dragonjumppro@gmail.com. And best believe I will show you some love on my show, because my show incorporates not just sports, but I'm incorporating music. So if you want your music to be heard, send your songs to me at dragonjumppro@gmail.com. And I got you. Trust, believe, I got you. I would do it best. I would do it big. Best way to do it. I'm supporting all local artists. And that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to get down with it. Now, I do have this song that's fresh off the presses, right? It's Scream Inc. It's a rock song, in case some people wondering. I don't listen to, I don't discriminate with music. I like rock, I like metal, I like hip-hop and R&B, I like gospel, so I get around. This song right here is a group called Scream Inc., and it's called Higher. On second thought, that song doesn't want to play, so I'll fix that later. Instead of Scream Inc., because that song is apparently corrupted, I got a song called Two Piece by Luvi. Check it out.
And I swear this feel like 2010 Chief Keef, man. You know? If you don't know me, I think it's time we get acquainted. Look, 2 piece with mild sauce. It don't take much to get mine, no? Yeah, 2 piece with mild sauce. From the land where it costs to be that boss. Hit a lick, grab a chick, watch a dip, you better watch your lip. Yeah, 2 piece, I'm that boss. My team eating over here, you already lost. Lemon pepper, just a dash, baby, please never slack. I ball hard, baby, that's a quarterback. Plug calling, give me phone, he been blowing up my jack. Yeah, I went a different route, so I didn't have to flip a pack. I know if I was bout it, your whole body would be detached. I know if I was bout it, yeah, your shorty would be your ex. I know that if you got it, you ain't looking for respect. Buddy, I ain't never stressed, I'm just getting to a check. I'm rocking shows, just watch me pose. A different wave, just watch the clothes. His shorty going, yeah, she gon' eat. We kill the beat, my name Luvi. But you can call me Mr. or they picking up your teeth. Our office really nothing, yeah, we do enemy. Don't claim to be a thug, but the smoke given for free. And buddy, when we meet, it's the same energy. 2 piece with mild sauce. It don't take much to get mine, no? Yeah, 2 piece with mild sauce. From the land where it costs to be that boss. Hit a lick, grab a chick, watch a dip, you better watch your lip. Yeah, 2 piece, I'm that boss. My team eating over here, you already lost. My team eating over here, We ain't got time for no tears, Lou.
We can like, baby.
Running, training should feel like Cloud9. When you squat, you fly. When you run, you're Flash. When you play basketball, you're Jordan. When you clean with purpose. When you walk, you strut.
So don't just sit there or lay around. Just do it with the Nike Air Versatile. Basketball, running, and training, even walking, never felt so good. So grab you a pair at any local Nike store or online at www.nike.com. So grab your Nike Air Versatile and live your life the Nike way. Just do it. You won't regret it. These shoes are running out fast, so head over to your nearest Nike outlet and pick up your pair today. So pick up your pair of Nike Air Versatiles today. You won't be disappointed.
Lights, camera, action. Hey there, I'm Dante Payne. I am the founder and CEO of Dragon Jump Productions. Dragon Jump Productions specializes in media production based in Chicago. We offer services in graphic design, photography, as well as videography. We also work with models as well. So if you got an idea for a photo shoot or you need to be branded, let us help you make your brand. Dragon Jump Productions will claw their way into stardom by making you look great. So if you want to book that next photo shoot with Dragon Jump Productions, reach out to dragonjumppro@gmail.com or call call 773-892-4514. Again, that's dragonjumppro@gmail.com or call 773-892-4514. Let us take you and make you great. Book now with Dragon Jump Productions.
Chicagoland Sports Radio is your home for all the latest Chicago sports news. CSR is not only the home to the most entertaining and informative shows in Chicago, but covers all the top college and high school games as well. Big guests and bigger personalities. This is your home for the greatest debates in sports, broadcasting live from State Street in the South Loop. For all of the news, analysts, and interviews to keep you informed, log on to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com to listen live. Chicagoland Sports Radio. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
You tune in to the hottest show for music and sports talk. This is Dragon Sports Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dragon Sports Live. If you're just tuning in, we went down over the breakdown of the NCAA, how both University of Virginia and Baylor both won national titles. It's the first for 2012 for Baylor, and it's the first for University of Virginia. But moving on, it's going down. So, far as NFL, most of the off-season programs, as far as the NFL, like training camps, workouts, that have started as of Monday, but newly signed DeMarcus Lawrence will need to undergo surgery in his torn labrum in his left shoulder. Even though he just signed that deal that had $65 million guaranteed and was $105 million total, he may not be ready until a little bit after the opening of the regular season, which he's basically saying is not, I'm not worried about missing open. I'm worried about the rest of the season. So he won't be there. And the XFL is set to debut, even though the AFL kind of shut down operations, letting go, a lot of players that was playing for the AFL, because basically NFL won't give them regular players, which I don't see why. You got a lot of players that don't go to the NFL draft, that's undrafted, that's trying to make it on the team. Let them play in the AFL. Maybe that's the time for them to shine. Like, I'm going to use both the AFL and the XFL to utilize to find more talent. With that being said, speaking of the XFL is a stream football league, which was founded by Vince McMahon originally, will be making a comeback in 2020. Now, they were going to have 3 different tiers of points that you can score. You can go for a 3-pointer or a 2-pointer. And you have like 2-point shootouts in overtime. So they're bringing that back. Adrian Claiborne is heading back to the Falcons. He played for the Falcons 2015 to 2017, where he had 9.5 sacks in the season. He was originally with the Patriots recently, but they released him, and he's looking to revamp his career back with the Falcons. We also had Steven Gostkowski sign a 2-year deal to stay with the Pats. They're keeping their kicker for 2 more years. Best way to roll, right? And also that the Pats. The Patriots also signed 2 of the AFL players now have jobs in the NFL. Due to the shutdown of the AFL, those jobs now are in the AFL. So that's what's going down. That's how it's going down, and that's how it is. That happens that way. I'll give you those names in a second. Dun 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 dun. But yeah, it's going down. No off-season moves really as of yet, far as the Bears. Or they did re-sign Tyler Bray. He was originally on their practice squad, but they're going to keep him on as the third string quarterback with the Bears. And like I said, off-season programs is starting. So you guys tune in as I keep you posted with well-covered news. As I find out, I'm going to deliver to you guys the best way possible. And with that being said, let me give you these players that the Patriots have signed. Because they signed a couple new additions to their team. So, you know, they got Michael Bennett now, Terrence Brooks, and they also signed Surfing Jenkins, who's originally with the Jaguars, to replace that void in the tight end spot. And they also, you know, it was honored at the Red Sox home opener too. So that's a good thing after winning the Super Bowl. The two players that was signed was Jacob Johnson and Cedric Lane. Both came from the AFF. So we got a fullback and an offensive tackle. Like I said, AFF players now finding jobs in the NFL. So much for Johnny Manziel. He basically just said, just call me John. It's not Johnny Manziel, I go by just John. So he's still, after a short stint with the AFF because of the shutdown, and then he suffered a concussion, he's just taking it one day at a time, just trying to get better. But hopefully you'll probably see him again. But you know who else I would love to see back in the league that he's still not elite? Colin Kaepernick. I would love to see him back in the lineup, back in the league. That's who I would love to see. Because I feel like he's been out way too long. It's like, yes, you fought the case, you beat the case, you took a conclusion from the case, but I'm just saying, I would love to see you back in the NFL. I would love to see you back throwing the football. Giants are finalizing an extension deal that's worth $41 million for Sterling Shepard, keeping him now since he's going to be that guy now that Odell's with the Browns. So if y'all like it, tune in. If y'all don't like it, well, don't tune in. Got more music coming up for you here on Dragon Sports Live. I have AC and the Envelope Pushers coming up for you. Like I said, these are local or independent artists. Like basically, you don't have help. You're not signed to a major level. You're just doing it. I also have Omoko coming up for you. And here is Omoko Wild Heart here on Dragon Sports Live. Check this song out. If you like it, drop a comment. I'll send you that song, the link to their social media as well. So check this Omoko Wild Heart song out.
Despite how you feel, I've been keeping you tight. In the morning after, in the morning light. You've been acting nasty and I've been feeling fine. Everyone around to realize with everyone around you. Oh no, where do we go from here? Where do we go now? When everyone around just seems to fade. And why? When you face in your fears in the night, well, it's dragging me down to the edge of the night. I've tried. That's why I don't wanna lose your wild heart. So show me your wild heart. Wild heart. When you face in your fears in the night, well, it's dragging me down to the edge of the night. I've tried. That's why I don't wanna lose your wild heart. So show me your wild heart.
I see you, baby, transparent as the smoke that's filling up my room. Elusive, never can I touch you. Cover your brain, you in my passion. Fantastic hallucination. Can you taste my thoughts while I indulge in your liquid courage, babe? Feels like we're making love. Strawberry kisses from your sugar cane lips. Heaven must be right beneath this. Eyes to the ceiling as we. Take me. Do you hear it? Can you take me there? I got a feeling that you gon' let me get it. I ain't talking about the sunshine. I got a feeling that you gon' let me get it. I ain't talking about the sunshine. I got a feeling that you gon' let me get it. I ain't talking about the sunshine. And I ain't talking about the sunshine. Could you be my pride? Would you be my rollie when it's grind time? Putting work, my employees, TV on my Apple bar. Feel it in your chest, girl. Like the cherry watch. Oh, shine is slow. Thoughts are filthy, baby, filter me.
I might just let you hit and I ain't talking about the swisher. I might just let you hit and I ain't talking about the swisher. I might just let you hit and I ain't talking about the swishers.
Welcome back to Dragon Sports Live as I come in with my cool, slick voice. Y'all like that? Y'all like that voice? Speaking on the NFL, we also had Demaryius Thomas. Even though he's not with a team right now, he did go visit the New England Patriots today. He's hopefully potentially trying to get back on another team, trying to find a replacement. But the Patriots also met with quarterbacks Daniel Jones and Will Grier. They're trying to find that next heir to Tom Brady whenever he decides to retire. So that's yeah. Daniel Jones is from Duke, and then West Virginia has Will Grier. 15 days, and this is in 15 days before the draft. Like, this is about that time where you tend to have quarterbacks, players who's trying to get on team. They go into the teams and basically let the team try them out, and this is to see if that team wants to get. Like, the thing about Daniel Jones, he can scramble, and he as well as throw the ball. He gives you versatility, which is something that Tom Brady kind of likes. He don't move. He just gets that ball out of there as quick, fast, in a hurry, basically. Will Grier, on the other hand, he can do the same thing. Went to Davidson High School, and that gives you younger and better. That's the best way to look at it. You go young, you train them up, you train them how you want to be, and then bada bing, bada boom. You got a new quarterback, but is he the potential next Tom Brady? Can he replace Tom Brady whenever he decides to retire? That is the question to ask. It's definitely and then Oklahoma wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown, he looked great in the NFL Combine recheck, and he looks excellent Melkich because he had an injured foot. He looks good and ready to go. So, like I said, and then the Redskins are not going to pursue. They're not going to pursue the trade for Rosen, even though it's expected that they trade Rosen and then draft Kyler Murray. No, Redskins are need of a quarterback, but they're not pursuing that trade. They may draft one, they may trade for one, because no telling what Alex Smith is going to do. Is he going to retire or is he going to come back? No telling when he would be back if he does decide to come back. So, no telling. And that's the best way to say it, is like, never know what will happen in the NFL, in the NBA, in the Major League Baseball. It just happens. Sometimes things just happen. Sometimes it causes you to retire early. But the best thing to do is just keep your head up, keep working hard at it. And if you have to give up that weight, give up. But if you don't, you'll be all right. And that's how I look at it. You will be all right. All right. Let me put a little bit of. Let me give y'all a little instrumental, just to help me out here, cause I do got a little scoring update for y'all. Or I should say, I do got an update. Bulls are set to play their final game tonight as the season ends tonight. As far as NBA, they're set to play against the 76ers tonight. Now, the 76ers may not be playing their stars tonight because they were going to rest them up for playoffs. Playoffs start Sunday, guys. So the playoffs is here. But we had a sign day of NBA last night. First, if you was watching the games last night, we had the Houston Rockets and OKC Thunder battling. Now, when I watched that game, OKC was down by 20. Towards the end of the third quarter, they started making a run. Fourth quarter, they came back. And then next thing you know, the game was tied at one point. And then you have... They down by 3. They down by 2, actually. And you got... one and only, Paul George, hitting the corner 3 with the assist from Westbrook, and that was basically your game right there. What was said is, a lot of people basically just showing past the fact that Westbrook has been averaging a triple-double for 3 straight seasons, and that he's one triple-double away from having an all-time passing up and having the all-time triple-doubles on the season. Right now, he's sitting at 37 right now. And I think it's just because a lot of people just showing that to the side, basically just because they feel like, oh, this is your third year in a row that you done that. Like, wow, okay. Big whoop, you got triple-double. But you got to give a man props. 3 triple-doubles. Well, I should say 3 seasons. Triple-doubles. Averaging a triple-double. You can't knock that. Give a man props. Give a man props where it's due. But on top of that, so it was a lot of playoff scenarios going on right now as far as NBA. Houston needed to win that game to move up to the 2nd seed, and they needed Denver lost. So Denver did lose yesterday, which would have caused, if the Houston would have won the game, they would have been 2nd seed. In my opinion, I think as much as I love Golden State, but I think Houston is a struggle for Golden State because sometimes, like during the season, Golden State almost got swept. They won the last game against Golden State, but if Houston is playing D like how has it been playing for the last 10 games or so, Golden State got a problem if they face each other again in the playoffs that I feel like Houston will actually win. But a little recap of yesterday's, like I said, yesterday's games was awesome. If you watch it, tune in. You gotta go and rewatch those games, especially the OKC Houston game. When I say that game went down to the wire, it legit went down to the wire. So, and here's the rundown of that game. You had Eric Gordon was quiet in that game. He only had 8 points. Clint Capella with 18 points in that game. James Harden, 39. 11 of 28 on the field. Chris Paul, 24. And he's 9 for 15 on the field. And then coming off the bench, you had Gerald Green. Gerald Green was scorching the Nets. He was 5 for 9. And it was all 3-pointers. When I say he was scorching that net was literally on fire. And that was basically the big ballers who kept Houston in the game. But if you look on the other hand, so we had Paul George putting in 42 minutes, 27 points, 4 of 14 from the field, 9 of 25 as far as field goal range, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals in that game. Those 4 steals came in key in the last moments of the game. You also had Jaren Grant with 10 points, Terrence Ferguson 16, Russell Westbrook 29, 10, and 12. That was another triple-double. Dennis Schroeder giving 10 points off the bench. So that game kept Houston at third currently. And I think they need this game. Oh, no, they're done for the season. So, yeah, they're still at third. But then you go to the other side. So, another good game. Well, it wasn't good for the Suns, but it was good for Dallas. You had Dirk Nowitzki, who I'll get to him in a second. But he had 19 of his first points in the first quarter. Was killing it. Definitely was killing it. But he also finished the night with 30 points. Justin Jackson with 10, Powell with 11, Harris with 14, and then Luka Doncic with 21. Dorian Finney-Smith with 15 off the bench. And then Phoenix, other hand, so we had Miles Bridges with 10, Dragan Bender with 12, Josh Jackson with 17, Ili Okubo with 11. But you want to know who's the deciding factor? Jamal Crawford, 51 off the bench. And he's also the oldest player he just became the third player older than 35 to drop 50-plus points in a game. And this is off the bench. So, big props for that. But back to Dirk. Like I said, I really felt like the NBA, the fans, fellow colleagues, was basically forcing retirement on Dirk Nowitzki. And let me tell y'all why I say this. Dirk never officially said he was going to retire. And all this time, like while Wade was getting his retirement, I'll talk about Wade's stats in his final game as a Miami Heat. Dirk never said that he was going to retire. He never said, kept saying, I may play one more year. But they literally was like, oh, well, this is your retirement tour. This is your final season tour. And I'm like, that don't make sense. Because he never said he was going to retire. On top of that, he's putting up buckets. Like, he can still play another year if he wanted to. But since the fans and everybody was giving him tribute videos, and then he officially announced last night in that win against the Suns that he's officially retiring after the season and that this is his final home game. So, like I said, it was pretty interesting to watch that unfold as it go down. Because they didn't make the playoffs either, but, you know, you got two great legends. Now, speaking of two great legends, let me talk about the other legend. D. Wade, his farewell tour, he literally went crazy. He didn't score 60 points like Kobe did, but he still was balling. So if y'all watched that game yesterday as well, that was also a pretty good game, and it was also a great game for Wade. Wade can still play about 2-3 more years, in my opinion, because that was his final home game. They are playing tonight against the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn. But like I said, that was his final home game. But they beat the Sixers 122-99. Now, he could have made the playoffs had the Pistons lost. But because the Pistons won, that eliminated the Heat from playoff competition. But here's the stat lines of that game. D-Wade in the starting lineup one last time. He dropped 30 points in 34 minutes. Had 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block. He's the leader in points, assists, and steals far as the Miami Heat franchise. He was basically putting the team on his back. Like, he led the team way in points. And then you have the Philadelphia 76ers, who had Ben Simmons with 16, Zaire Smith with 11, and Butler was quiet in that game. He only had 4 points. Tobias was quiet in that game with 6. Coming off the bench, you had Boban with 12, Jonathan Simmons with 14, and Greg Monroe dishing at 18, who was a new addition to the 76ers, signing on to the rest of the season with the 76ers. Now, tank season full effect. We had the Bulls and the Knicks play yesterday. Knicks beat the Bulls 96-86. Kevin Knox coming off the bench in the starting lineup with 17 points. Dennis Smith Jr. with 25. Dean Dotson with 12. And John Jenkins 9 off the bench. Not too bad, but both these teams are trying to tank. But the Bulls finished with the lowest home loss record with 9-32 games. The worst. And it's worse than a 2000 Bulls where they was 10-32 at home. But, it happens. On the other hand, we did have Ryan Arcidiacono with 14 points. He was your leading scorer the game. Timothy with 10 points. Robert Lopez with 12. Shaquille Harrison with 13. Jakar Sampson with 11. And then Brandon Sampson with 9 and Walter Lemon with 9. They basically grabbed... So what the Bulls did basically was grab all G League players from the Windy City Bulls. Which a lot of these players are trying to make... They just trying to make their point. They trying to stay with that team. Like, hey, we did this and this for you. Keep us with the Bulls. But Bulls is basically trying to tank. It's like Bulls is tanking for that lottery pick. Hopefully they can add another great player to the fold, whether that be RJ Barrett or Zion Williams if he decides to go. Now, we did have a good game with the Toronto Raptors and the Minnesota Timberwolves. That score is the Raptors leading away 120-100 last night. And Leonard had 20 points, leading the team in scoring. When you go to the other side, we had Gordy Dang and Andrew Wiggins with 16 points, leading the team in scoring. So it was good games, but you got quite a few games tonight. Like I said, you got the Bulls versus the Sixers. That game is tipping off at 7 p.m. today. Detroit versus the Knicks. And also Orlando Magic versus Charlotte. That game is on ESPN, so check that game out. Miami versus the Nets again. Tip-off is at 7. Pacers versus Hawks. And Golden State versus Memphis. Now, Golden State, on the other hand, most of their players, because Curry went down with an ankle injury, but he should be ready for the playoffs. It wasn't too bad. He was able to walk off on his own power and stuff like that. But most of the star players will be sitting tonight. Meaning, because this is basically a meaningless finale road game against Memphis. So most of the starters, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, will be resting. You'll be seeing more Alfonso McKinney, Damian Lee, which I just found out is Steph Curry's brother-in-law because he's married to Steph Curry's sister. What a small world. That's all I got to say. But with that being said, tune in next week as I got another exciting show for you. It's going down next week on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com, simulcasting on YouTube at www.youtube.com/DONPE1, or you can just go to YouTube and type in DONPE1. That is the Dragon Jump Productions YouTube channel. Click the link, subscribe, and then if you have the TuneIn app, launch the TuneIn app, search ChicagolandSportsRadio.com, and you can hear us there. If you're on social media, well, you can go to Dragon Jump Pro on Facebook, and then follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow the page. But with that being said, though, I'll see you guys next week. I'm throwing up the deuces. You guys have a good night, and stay warm on this chilly night. With that being said, deuce.